And this is a first on Indian television. It was a daring operation 11 days after an Indian army camp was attacked in Jammu and Kashmir. The Indian army reported that it carried out a surgical strike on terrorists in Pakistan. The date was September 29, 2016. It was a swift and targeted attack aimed at neutralizing terror launch pads across the border. Sections of opposition parties in India had questioned this operation, saying such exercises had been covertly carried out in the past as well. Some others demanded proof and photographs or video evidence. Almost 2 years after that operation, we finally have proof and video evidence. WION has accessed video footage of the operation, which was captured through a UAE and head-mounted cameras and beamed to the Army's operation control room. The footage shows Pakistani army men along with terrorists as well as the decimation of Pakistani bunkers. 38 terrorists were killed in the Indian retaliatory operation, better known as the surgical strikes. Take a look at this video footage that we have. This is coming nearly 2 years, 636 days after the September 2016 strike. These videos are time and date stamped and they show 4 targets. They've been captured, as I said, through UAVs and head-mounted cameras. They show a target being struck well beyond the line of control, well into the Pakistani territory. One of the videos shows the time, 6:13 a.m. You can see the targets being blown up. One video was captured through a head-mounted camera which was put on by a soldier. The target gets demolished. It proves the strike was so powerful the camera almost turned. It was taken from behind a tree. You can see a safe house in the distance, and it's getting blown away completely in the second strike. This is the first time the government of India has released footage of the surgical strike that was conducted on terror launch pads in Pakistan in September 2016. Remember, there was a huge political debate in India when the government came out and told the people of this country that they had avenged the terror strike just a few days back. The opposition said that this was not the way these operations were conducted, that surgical strikes had been done in the past, but they never claimed credit for something that was supposed to be a covert operation. The government of India, the current government, clearly had changed the rules. They decided to come out and claim credit for what they've done. The criticism continued. It became an election issue. Now the government has come out with this video, and we've accessed this video, in fact, which shows how these terror launch pads were neutralized on Pakistani territory, the territory that Pakistan has unlawfully occupied. Pakistan occupied Kashmir. There were many who called these surgical strikes farcical, including the likes of Arun Shourie. He also said that there was no improvement in the ground situation. Remember, in April this year, while speaking to an audience in London, the Prime Minister of India also commented on the surgical strike. He said that before announcing it to the public, the government wanted to inform the government of Pakistan, and they tried calling, but Pakistani authorities were too wary to pick up the phone and talk to the Indians in the wake of what they had suffered. These are the first images of India's surgical strike on Pakistani soil. 39 terrorists, Pakistani terrorists, were neutralized in this operation. And this is the second target you're looking at. Well into the line of control, you can see the purple line is the line of control that divides India and Pakistan. And this is the strike that's taking place, a safe house in the distance. You can see it's surrounded by the trees. And these are cameras mounted on UAVs, and this is the second target's video that we have for you. And this is an answer to Pakistan as much as to the government's critics here in India. Sherry Rahman was a senior leader of Pakistan People's Party, and he tweeted saying, surgical strikes are air strikes as I understand it. No such strike struck. LOC violations are what we see on the ground. That's what Pakistan had denied, that something like this ever happened. The Pakistani Army Chief, military spokesperson rather, Lieutenant General Asim Bajaj, was quoted as saying, "We deny there is no such thing on the ground. There is just the incident of firing last night, which we responded to." And General Bajwa insisted that there had been no surgical strike by India. There had been cross-border fire initiated and conducted by India. Well, this is proof for all the naysayers who questioned the government's version. 4 sets of videos which show how these precision strikes were mounted on Pakistani targets across the line of control. An Express Tribune headline said surgical farce blows up in India's face. It said that the Indian government had staged a drama to placate a media-induced public frenzy following the attack on an army camp in northern Kashmir's Uri. Remember, 18 Indian soldiers were killed in that terror strike, and this was in retaliation. The Uri strike, the government of India said, was the last straw. They had to do something. They had to send a message to Pakistan, and the surgical strike was their response. These videos are 4 sets of videos where 4 specific targets have been attacked and neutralized. Joining us on the phone line is retired Air Marshal P.S. Ahluwalia. What do you make of these videos, sir, and what is the message that goes out to all those who question the government's versions of the surgical strike?
It is actually such a pity that such an exemplary performance by the armed forces, the army.
Yes, sir. We'll try and reconnect with him. This video was shot through head-mounted cameras. Let me repeat. These pictures have been taken from UAVs, which show that it was 6:15 in the morning when the strike happened. The pictures were captured that showed the terrorists and Pakistan Army personnel seen in one camp. 2 terrorists seen in Pathan suits. Special commandos attacked and destroyed the bunkers. Assault rifles and heavy machine guns were used in the surgical strike. The team was dispatched at night and was taken back the next morning. Let's run you through what the opposition has said. Many leaders had slammed and doubted these strikes. Congress member Sanjay Nirupam had famously called the attack fake. Congress spokesperson Randeep Surjewala had added, and I'm quoting, "Blinded by political vote garnering out of the blood and sacrifice of our soldiers, Parrikar, then Defence Minister, is unabashedly lying and misleading the people of India." He said the BJP was converting national security into an event management exercise to polish the image of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. "We urge the ruling dispensation to show maturity in handling such crucial issues of national security."
Hello.
Let me go back to Marshal Ahluwalia. Sir, you were talking about how this act of bravery by Indian soldiers who went into hostile Pakistani territory to neutralize terror launch pads was reduced to a political mudslinging match in India.
Yes, that is affirmative. You see, this is a good example of where success was achieved with great professionalism at the strategic, at the operational, and at the tactical level. And when I say strategic, I mean that it was a great demonstration of the political will of the present government to convey to Pakistan that such adventurism will have its toll. Now, this is very important because we had to give them a lesson, and this lesson was sent through exemplary planning by the leadership of the army and executed at the tactical level by the soldiers in the field. It was very well precisely coordinated. It was an example not only between Indo-Pak effort but also throughout the world. Unfortunately, after having achieved so much of success professionally, politically, and conveying a message to Pakistan, it has been deliberately become a mudslinging, political mudslinging, as you had mentioned, which is not so good because it's not so good for the morale. It's not good for for giving an advantage to Pakistan, whereas they've actually lost the advantage here. And I think it would be proper that in cases of national security like this, it is not politicized, and all political parties and leadership keep that away from the success that has been achieved by the armed forces.
Air Marshal Ahluwalia, thanks very much. These are pictures from that surgical strike of September 2016.